Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I wanted to jump into some more Oblivion Override, mostly because pardon me, mostly because I am really enjoying the game, but also I want to start showing off the idea that there are definitely some more interesting strategies that one can do aside from just grab weapon, go nuts. Like, for instance, I can see right now that the weapon that I have is the spare tire weapon. Now, that might not be what I end up using for the run, though. I'm also looking to see if I have any other mechs to update, since I have the nanites necessary to do so. There you go, so I can upgrade Mr. Viking Man with the Energy Axe, and then Spirit Ascension duration plus 4 seconds. That's really nice. And have we finished upgrading you? Apparently yes. Code Crimson, Code Vic, Code Aya. Have we finished upgrading Code Aya? Apparently. Have we finished upgrading the one I'm using right now, Code Conte? So it would seem. Alright. Well, you saw it here first. I've finished upgrading all of the mechas, and I can only hope that the game continues to get development support so we can get more playable mechas. That would be a lot of fun. And very interesting. I'm very interested in seeing what sorts of creative things they can come up with. Prop sword. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this one. And you know, this one, the one I'm using right now, is one that I really like. So we'll just run with it. Hello, who are you? It doesn't matter. Thank you, sir. And so what you're putting in these recycling bins is pardon me, is these objects known as alpha radiations. There's hidden areas where you can pick them up during runs, and you bring them here in order to turn them into things. You're either turning it into script, otherwise known as money, nanites, so you can level up your mech on the fly, or cores, which are basically relics. Alright, not much I can do here. And before I embark on a run, let me see if there's anything here I haven't upgraded yet. This is another reason why I'm hoping that this game gets some more support, because I've already done everything that I can here. So I'm hoping that they add more stuff that I can do, or spend spend those bits of in-game currency on. And just for practicality's sake, I'm going to drop down to alert level 3. But keep in mind that I am working on alert level 5. I had actually mentioned in my Discord that alert level 5 was kind of kicking my ass a little bit. Alright, so The weapon that I'm using right now, the walk and roll, its whole deal is that you use the weapon skill to throw it out. And then when it comes back to you, you have the ability to light enemies on fire with it. And that right there was Code Conte's mecha skill. You essentially perform a big ol' counterattack, which requires either good timing or a decent amount of luck, but let's be fair, when you're using that, you want it to be successful because of timing, not because of, oh, I got lucky and the enemy attacked into it. Meaning that this character is far more reliant on knowledge of enemy attack patterns than... Alright, so now let's consider what upgrades I want. Because I'm going to be heavily relying on my skill, on my weapon skill, I'm going to want to use killing skill. And because this weapon has this weapon deals a lot with burning, we're going to want to get thermal skill so I can increase burning damage. So let's see if we can find any of those. Well, we also want stuff that boosts our mecha skill, so take that. Oh, there's something that boosts our weapon skill. And fighter cluster. Alright, so we are definitely getting to the things that we want. And also, as you can see, I'm giving you a very good idea of how not to use the counter skill. Some enemies just have a very delayed attack, and that's just annoying when you're trying to counterattack them. The obvious bonus to having this particular mecha skill is that there's no cooldown attached to it, so you can just kind of use it whenever. There we go, that's going to make it easier to land our counters. But we are 5 nanites short of that. Alright, we'll get there. Just a good fight or so, and we should be there. Alright, so this is a blade-type weapon, and one of the things that I've noticed about the blade weapons, even though this is obviously a baseball blat, perfect. Yeah, I know how to talk, I swear. But the thing that you want to take notice of when using blades is their basic combos tend to score multiple hits, so you want... And they tend to be skewed towards... Okay, let me grab that back. But they tend to be skewed towards the primary weapon attack and attack combo and not necessarily the skill. Obviously, that's not entirely true, but it's just kind of a generalization about blade-type weapons. And because our other weapon wants to focus on skills and fire damage mostly, kind of hard to build around something that doesn't care about either of those. But chakram weapons do tend to care quite a bit about your weapon skill, so... Then, of course, mecha skill isn't necessarily determined by the weapon that you're carrying. It's determined, of course, by your playable character. There we go. Alright, so now we can do that. Alright, so skip. Skip. Yeah, well, we can at least enhance fighter cluster. I'm not against that in any way. And bloody counter. We will want that because that's just generally useful. Also, I should point out I really don't like those samurai bots. For some reason, I always get tripped up by their attack pattern and I have a hard time countering it. Like, if you end up having the same problem that I do, assuming that you want to give this game a try, and I would highly recommend it, perhaps the best thing that you can do in that situation is just not worry about trying to counter them. Just get away from them and beat them up in other ways. I can come back to this later. Take bloody counter. Alright, there's another point towards killing skills, so yeah, we'll come back for that. But of course we need more nanites. Hey, See, this is what I mean. Even the lower level samurais, for some reason, I have a hard time countering their attacks. Like, there's probably a good reason for that. Like, maybe that's some part of the game's design. Like, their whole idea is to trip you up. Or maybe I'm just a big ol' idiot. So I don't know which one the actual answer is, but let's just make it easy on ourselves, assume that I'm an idiot, and just move on. If you hear that humming, that means that you're close to the shop. Here we go, Cowbot's shop. Got anything good for me? Alright, so we're gonna grab that. It's just useful to have... It's just useful to have more cores in general. And we will buy this drink because it's just a general offensive boost. It's a boost to attack speed, it's a boost to attack damage. Like, there is no reason why you wouldn't want that. So yeah, let's get it. There we go. And trust me, just like with similar games like Dead Cells and whatnot, make sure you're making frequent use of your map. Just trust me when I say more information is always better than less. If I have to explain to you why, you haven't been living on this earth long enough. Now, despite my complaining about, counter timings and whatnot, I do think it's just a generally good idea to, or rather, I prefer it to use this particular character just because I know that by mastering enemy timings, I can also do it. Okay, I can also do a good job dodging these enemies' attacks with other characters. And if I happen to take the Blink Katana with another character, I'll know the enemy timings for the counterattacks with that too, because, it's the same thing. And there we go. He could have done something other than summon minions, but I'm not going to complain. And now we can do more damage with our bird. Oh yeah! Not necessarily looking for critical hits, so I don't care. Line box airdrop isn't bad, but there are other generalized skills that I prefer. There you go, Hypotensor. Probably could have saved that. Also, I'd like to point out that on higher difficulty levels, you don't necessarily get those energy tank drops from battle rooms, so you have to perform the battle rooms, let's just say, to a much higher degree of success. I swear these things are just designed to waste your money. Let's move on to our first boss. Whoever our first boss is, we'll know in just a moment. It is the TN Smasher. And yes, the loading screen basically tells you everything you need to know. So if we go over here, we can alter our weapon a bit. What's Evolution Reforge? Okay, so I would love very much to have the weapon skill be drop a thermal bomb when weapon skill hits an enemy. Here's the problem. I don't have enough script. So we will be waiting on that. Let's see if we even need it by the time we get there. The rest of my skills I'm fine with. Plus, it's still early in the run, so you never know what else you're going to come across. Ugh. Also, I was honestly hoping to be able to get the defeat the boss flawlessly achievement in this fight, but I am not that lucky. Good enough. Oh, and despite what I just said about not getting energy tanks out of battle rooms on level 4 and higher, you do still get them out of boss rooms. So that's good. They're not expecting you to do an entire run without ever healing, they're just limiting it. Oh, hello, what do you want? Sure, we'll shell out 300 HP for a bunch of script. I'm a little nervous as to why he chuckles about that at the end. Like, should I be worried about how much health I'm sacrificing to him? By the way, skill damage plus a bunch, and 20% cooldown. I love it. There we go. Drop a thermal bomb with an air... and counter zeal. Though if I'm being honest, I think the bomb dive is probably more important. Okay, let me come down here and take care of this thing. Alright. And now we have... Oh, we definitely want counter-empowerment. We'll come back to thermal intrusion later. Counter-empowerment is going to be what unlocks our Mecha Arcanum skill. which, as I described the last time I played Quantum... I was about to say Quantum Entanglement, wow. No, last time I played Oblivion Override, it's essentially your character's limit break skill, so we definitely want that. Alright, so... I'm not sure what to say the specialty of a polearm weapon is. But they're pretty good. I tend to save those for when I'm using Code Aya. But that doesn't mean they have to be. I just have yet to figure out what the polearm specialty is. Maybe once I figure it out, I'll prefer using them with this character. Who knows? Or maybe that's just kind of their point, is that they're just kind of a generalized, kind of all-arounder sort of thing. We'll take max HP boost, thank you. More money. Very nice. Okay, back down. We go this way. By the way, I don't know why this just came to mind, but have you guys tried those Space Dunk Oreos? They're pretty tasty. Their big deal is that the cream is... the Oreo cream, outside of being, like... outside of just being, like, red and blue and, like, a psychedelic... actually has Pop Rocks in it. Like, not a huge amount, but enough so that it feels tingly. I don't know, I just like that. Then again, maybe I'm just... Maybe the idea that I'm a big fat American is starting to show through. Okay, we're gonna take Burning Radiation, that sounds like a good idea, and we'll leave that energy tank there for later. I think we take the upgrade to that. Ooh, we definitely want Sundering Punch. And Precise Strike is nice, but we can come back to that later. Not a bad fight, if I do say so myself. So, like I said, I don't know where that train of thought came from. Just bottom line, if you have a chance to try out the Space Dunk Oreos, go for it. They're pretty good. This is the worst possible place to have to fight any enemy. Good. Alright, he's gonna teleport, 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 and now we'll counter. See what I mean about those samurai guys? It's like, no matter how much experience I seem to have with the game, they always manage to find a way to just break me down. I don't care about that. I will buy that, though. Alright, so burning radiation, cool. Inflame, cool. There's precise strike. Alright, so here I am going to pick an ability. I don't have enough nanites for it right now, but I'm going to pick an ability that's just generally useful, and that will be Fusion Crystal, and that's because it has just attack damage plus 20%. You don't turn down a free 20% attack damage. Already have a drink active. This one is good, though, because it does do weapon skill damage plus 30%. Considering how centric this weapon skill damage is to this weapon, like, you could say that that might be the better choice other than the drink we have right now. Until reaching a new area. Let's go ahead and refresh the shop items because we deserve a reduced weapon skill cooldown when attacking enemies. I love it. Yeah. Changes the drink, too. Well, I feel silly. And yes, I did that just because I wanted to get some extra weapon experience for my current weapon. Let's see. And yes, I'll take emergency evasion. I just don't have enough nanites for it. And before we go running off to fight the boss, and yeah, there's nothing else, so I guess we'll just go fight the boss. And this time around, we still don't have enough script to get ourselves a weapon evolution ability. Probably should have done that instead of buying a random weapon to try to level up with. And yes, that attack does have a backwards hitbox. It's every bit as annoying as it seems. Okay, my counter timing is way off. See what I mean by that attack has a backwards hitbox? Okay, yeah, thanks dash button. By the way, have I mentioned that I don't like fighting this boss very much? Just because his hitboxes are so janky. Alright, and as much as I like the prop sword, which might work just as well with my current loadout as the walk and roll, I'm gonna stick with what I have. But trust me when I say prop sword, really, really, really good. And so now we are down our extra life. We have to be a bit more careful. This is another just generally good skill. Iron sharpens iron. Damage plus 30% to bosses and enemies with guard. Like, I'll probably take that over upgrading proficiency just because it's going to do so much more for me in the long run. What do we have here? That's basically just free nanites. Sometimes it's nice just to have the trap do the job for you. There we go. Take that because that's going to boost our thermal bomb damage. And all kitted out is also just a good generalized skill. Probably do that just to increase our survivability. Alright, so let's go ahead and spend 300 script to replace that 1-up that we lost, essentially. Alright, now... Oh, alright, 2 ways to go. Well, 2 ways to go if I'm paying attention to the map. Here's the shop. I mean, just a bunch of max HP. Definitely worth it. And now we probably save our money for other things. Does he, well, we're definitely going to want Dragon Blaze. Which, of course, is going to cost 60 nanites, and we only have... well, 17 now. It was 16 a moment ago. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, there's a reason why I'm walking into walls at the moment. I know it just looks silly, but trust me, there's a reason for it. Get back here. Go away already. that get us up to 60? It does not. But didn't expect it to either. And now the data center is going to get mad at me. But you know what? Worth it to be able to get Dragon Blaze. Oh, now we get Thermal Intrusion. Very nice. Just need 20 more nanites. The one issue I have with Dragon Blaze is it seems like it makes it harder to hit with the counter sometimes. Oof, my timing was off. That's not good. By the way, the only reason why I complain about the Shoryuken essentially not lasting as long is that I also get less invulnerability frames out of it, so hopefully that creates a little bit of understanding as to the dilemma whether or not you want to take Dragon Blaze. Well, Dark Sage, if you have your mind made up, why did you do it? Because I wanted to show it off. As easy as that. Sometimes there just isn't any deeper meaning to it than I wanted to show it to my audience. Alright, I don't want to do that too many times while my health is looking iffy. I don't want to have to take a risk on whether or not I'm going to need that additional core. And like I said, the data center is now mad at me, so they're actively trying to kill me because I broke their stuff. What's up here? Alright, could definitely use an energy tank of some sort, though. I am feeling a bit vulnerable. Don't want the Super Slugger.
What's wrong with the Louisville Slugger, Dark Sage?
I mean, by itself, nothing, but I've spent this entire run building up... I've spent this entire run building up the skills I currently have, then to have to, like, change all of them for a different weapon. It's not a good idea. What does that one do? Can you let me see my cores? Okay, whetstone is really good. Of course, what would be really, really good is, you know, health. I would like to, you know, not die if it's at all possible. A good analog for real life, too, is just, you know, I would like to not die. Let's just use this. I don't like the advanced Anubis bot. Actually, I should just call him a jackal because there is an enemy named Anubis in the game. Thanks, game, for not letting me dodge properly. Okay, lucky energy tank, and no, I wouldn't have gotten that if I was on difficulty level 4 or higher. So I would have still been worried about where the hell I'm going to get my survivability from. Okay, shielding helps. And as you can see, the data center has now protected that thing, so no more free nanites for me. Alright, let me check, see if there's anywhere else I need to go. Yes, right there. Alright, well, that was not worth much. Alright, now I guess we move on to the boss. Let's go ahead and do that weapon evolution reforge. And for this weapon, I would like that. Let's make sure that everything... Yep, there we go. Okay, thanks, game. Okay, the game is being very... very questionable with its methods right now. They're not allowing me a very easy time dodging things. And there goes my other extra life. Okay, I was kind of not expecting to clear that, so... Shit, now what? Go on to the next level with less than 100 health? Christ. So yeah, with the advanced version of that boss, if things go poorly, they go really poorly. Also, like I said, I heavily prefer the normal spinning Shoryuken. I know it sounds like I'm just using a shortcut, but no, that's what they call it in the game, too. Let's see. There you go, Iron Bastions, because that seems like, you know, how you survive at the moment. There it goes. Oh, hey, a health pickup. I see the clinic there, but right now using that clinic is probably a bad idea, so just wait. Okay, these things need to go away. Well, how likely is it that I'm going to completely flawless this boss? It's pretty much an impossibility, but it doesn't mean I won't try. And of course, it's the attack pattern I hate the most. Oh, of course. Yep, that's what I thought. Well, I tried. I did what I could, but Nephthys just kicked my ass hard. And keep in mind, that was on threat level 3. I'm currently playing on threat level 5, so, yeah, if it seems like I'm having a hard time with things, kinda am. But that's all for right now, so thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate your continued support and you coming to spend your free time here with me. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you may happen to be. I'm just getting myself set up for the next run. And I will see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.